Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline Live in the BPTV studios. Man, Dave Cable got these lights that Devin Shea suggested. Look at how nice we look on TV. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine with Smoking Jim Frazier. Look at this lighting on us guys here. Looks natural daylight here. Wow, can't beat us. Watch us on Comcast 7. Thanks for all of you watching us Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park. Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way out to Nemacolin and then Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate you. Our Facebook page hit 6657. Thanks for liking all our shows and watching our shows. We appreciate that. It's always a pleasure. We have a sponsor for What's on Your Mind, Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station. Give him a call. He works on anything that runs on gas. He just inspected my car and had a wheel bearing go bad and almost lost a wheel. Wow. Put the wheel on. I'm back in business. Only a couple days. 724-348-4715. Tell Skeets Al Levine, the talking machine, said give him a call. And he sponsors What's on Your Mind. I have some promos, of course, I want to start with. So we're going to get that thing going right now. This is for Friday night. Night at the races at the Bethel Park. Wow, does that camera work look great. Thanks, Steve, Rookie of the Year Fisher, for setting that up. I didn't believe you, but you did great with the big poster. You can read that. I don't even have to explain anything. You can see it in detail.
That's true.
Check it out. $15. Got to be 21 years old. They have beer. They got mixers. They got raffle tickets. You can get your own horse, $10. Name it Smoking Jim Frazier. If you win, you get $40. So $10 for a horse, $40 if you win. Make some money. Donate the different money to the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Check it out. 50-50 tickets, baskets, all kinds of things out there. And all the money goes to fight DIPG. They've raised over $50,000 the last couple years. They plan on getting some more money, so check that out. Talking about sponsors, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Can you pull in on that one? I'm hopeful. There we go. 412-831-1900. Give them a call. They had so many pieces of pie in their cooler. I said I'd talk about the pies. $3.75 for a slice of pie, chocolate, peanut butter, I don't know, all kinds of different pies there, but they got great food. Give them a call at 412-831-1900.
I'm looking for an apple pie.
They had no apple pie. Smoking Jim just discovered apple pie, so we'll have to see what happens. Who knows with my man. All right, here's the Stay Joey Strong, Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. They're a 501c3. Check them out. There's Joey before DIPG, after DIPG. He only lived to be 9 years old. It's a death sentence. It's a terrible brain cancer. They're trying to find a cure for it. You heard me talk about Friday night at the races. And again, that's at, let me see what time. It's 7:30. The races start. Doors open at 7 at the BP Community Center. Check it out. We were just there for designer bag bingo again. So wow. Thanks to all the ladies that came out to support the library then. Appreciate it. All right, got another little thing here. The Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center right on South Park Road with that old trolley sitting there. Can't beat it. Bill Habather's in charge of this group, does a lot of great things in the community, and they do a lot of business up there, have different events there. Check it out, the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. You can donate money to them online at the Bethel Park Historical Society. Check them out. If you need money for your group or organization, the Bethel Park Community Foundation has grant money. Check it out. From $100 to $5,000 for your group. Now, Smoking Jim's been playing around for a year. He don't have a group, but if you have a group and you're doing great things in Bethel Park, you can apply for money, $100 to $5,000. Hey, we just got a grant for these great lights. So $7,100 for these lights. Look at this. You can even see this. I Want You for BPTV. Tell them Uncle Al, the talking machine from BPTV and Pittsburgh Sportsline wants you to volunteer. 412-831-3304. Tell Dave Cable that Uncle Al told you to call. We met a young man last week that's supposed to be helping out, so appreciate him, Jay. So hopefully we'll see him again. That's BPTV. I Want You for BPTV. Now we're going to start with What's on Your Mind. Got to go to Smoking Jim Frazier. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
I'm just going to hand it to you.
you got to see Levine.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank you, buddy. Thank you.
And what's on my mind other than bone broth?
Hey, that's a great topic. I've had it before. Smoking Jim's trying to get healthy. He's not eating a bucket of chicken tonight, so maybe he'll have a large bottle of bone broth.
Yeah, I'm going to heat it up, man, and drink it like a coffee.
Heat it up, and it's good for you, buddy.
I drink 5 pots of coffee a day, so that'll cut in on it a little bit. Just put 4.5 now. Get me down to 4.5.
I don't think it'll cut back too much on you. You'll be all right.
But what's on my mind is actually the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns is on my mind, and the reason is I'm going to let everybody know the reason Cleveland Browns took a quarterback in the draft in the first pick overall. That's going to be an NFL bust.
What?
And the reason that I say that is a couple of reasons. One, Baker Mayfield's not an NFL quarterback, number one. Number two, he has a critical flaw that only 3 quarterbacks in NFL history overcame. He throws off his back foot, and there's only been 3 quarterbacks in NFL history who were successful throwing off their back foot. One was Dan Marino, but he had a quick release and a strong arm. The other quarterback was Joe Namath, who had a quick release and a strong arm. And the only other quarterback that had success like that was Joe Gilliam, who had a quick release and a strong arm. Baker Mayfield is built like a baby linebacker. He's a stubby kid, not much of an arm, not very accurate. In the NFL, he had wide open targets at Oklahoma, not that fast, 4.9 40. But the reason that the Cleveland Browns made a huge mistake by picking him in the first round is because of what I'm doing right now is what every sports person in the country is doing, is talking about the Cleveland Browns first pick. Baker Mayfield is what Cleveland picked him. That means they're selling more season tickets. That means the sponsors are happy. The whole country is talking about Cleveland. They blew it. There's no way that Baker Mayfield, this is a kid that left, not only did he come late for the week of practice at the Senior Bowl, but he left at halftime and flew home. I've never seen anybody do that before. This guy is a problem. He's going to be a problem for offensive coordinator Todd Haley. They're going to bump heads from day one. And it could cost Hugh Jackson his job, which I'm predicting that the Cleveland Browns will fire Hugh Jackson halfway through the season and promote Todd Haley to head coach. And maybe his quarterback at that time might be another Oklahoma guy, Jones from the Pittsburgh Steelers. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers maybe trading
Landry
Jones for a conditional draft pick because there's no quarterbacks on Cleveland Browns roster that fits Todd Haley's offense. So that's what's on my mind. They picked him for a media splash only.
How'd that work out?
It worked out good. Everybody's talking about Cleveland Browns.
They're happy then. That's all that
happy.
counts. And Hugh Jackson, after a 1-31 start, how can you get rid of him? They chose to keep him.
Unreal.
if he wins 2-3 games, how many years will it take to get to 500?
Right, that's right.
Come on. It could take a long time. Oh, well, I hope your prediction comes true on the firing anyhow. Not the Todd Haley thing. I'm still no fan of Todd Haley.
Neither am I.
I know, but you like him as a golfer, so that's what counts. Well, thanks, Smoking Jim Frazier. What's on my mind, we're going to talk Penguins at the end of the show, but I watched the Penguins the other day, and it was a tough game to watch, them getting beat 4-1. They flicked the switch, and they were starting to get some pressure on the goaltender, scored a goal. Then they scored another goal that, guess what, they took it away from them. It went past the red line in the net, and New York, whoever looked at it, said they couldn't tell if it was in or not, yet they were showing pictures on NBC that there was some white between the puck and the red line. So how does this even happen? And the referees didn't call a goal on the shot, which was shocking. You could see it went in. Hornquist put it in there, and I guess he was the only one that saw it in there, and all of us on TV. But it was just very frustrating. And Penguins are playing tonight about 7:30, so don't change that dial. You know, they got 3 periods, so you can check it out. And Malkin should be playing tonight. Dumoulin's come back from his little brush up with Wilson and Ovechkin. Somehow he recovered from that. There was no penalty on the shot, even though Wilson somehow hit him in the head. And he had to go through the concussion protocol and passed it, so he was on the ice today, and he'll be playing in the game tonight. So who knows what goes on. They're trying to protect the head in hockey, and there was a perfect example of it, the violation, and nothing happened with it. Didn't even get called into the commissioner's office. So Wilson's a tough guy. Smoking Jim would like him if he followed hockey instead of just following Ovechkin. He's on Ovechkin's team. He only scored 35 points, but he's an enforcer and a tough guy. Smoking Jim, when he finds out more about him, when he finally watches a Penguin game against Washington, maybe he'll be able to tell us a little bit about Tommy Wilson. So that's what's on my mind.
My honor. I would do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
One of the things we do at BPTV is encourage our producers to film on location. Not only does shooting on location give our producers the opportunity to take advantage of their subject matter, filming in different locations gives each program its own distinct flavor. This also helps anyone who's flipping through the channels avoid confusion when they turn on BPTV. With around 500 programs produced at BPTV each year, the last thing we want people to think is that we're only broadcasting one program. So, you need to come into BPTV to pitch your TV show, but in terms of where you actually end up taping your show, the sky's the limit.
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talk Machine. Thanks, Devin, and the Rookie of the Year. But hey, what's on my mind is
No. This is Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
I tell you, that CTE's kicking in, man. But hey,
If you play sports and you get concussed, take time off.
hey, on Sunday I went to see the Avenger movie.
Did you?
And
What happened?
The 20 minutes that I stayed awake for was pretty good. So I woke up at the ending credits, but I had my 3D glasses on.
Good.
And I fell asleep. But what's on my mind is congratulations to Jason Witten. Hall of Fame tight end, the second all-time leading tight end in receiving yards in NFL history with 12,000 yards, only second to Gonzalez. And it takes me back to the 2003 draft where I'm sitting next to Coach Mike Mularkey, who was the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers at the time. And, of course, Jason Witten was my number one rated tight end. The Pittsburgh Steelers needed a tight end. And after he slipped out of the first round, and I was shocked, played at the University of Tennessee, was great. I go up to Coach Mike Mularkey, and I says, Coach, Jason Witten's still on the board. And Coach Mike Mularkey's famous words, I don't like him.
Wow.
And I was in shock. No wonder Mike Mularkey is fired from yet another job, but Jason Witten didn't go until the third round. What a huge steal for the Dallas Cowboys. He did nothing short of having a Hall of Fame career, and now a guy that never even talked before. I've never heard him say a word. Now he'll be on the Monday Night Football team. Congratulations, Jason Witten. Once he got the call from Monday Night Football, made it an easy decision for him to retire.
Why should he
from
get hit
football.
anymore in the head and pounded on?
Started a great career. He's already going to the Hall of Fame, probably a first ballot Hall of Famer. So congratulations. And Coach Mike Mularkey, I'll never let you forget it. And that's the fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. You knew how to close that out. On location, stay tuned for Olive Oil's Pizzeria, May 14th. Smoking Jim and I were just talking about lining up some guests for the May 14th at Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 7:30 to 8:30. Thanks to Frank Finero. He loves our show. We love his pizza and hoagies. Can't beat it. Come out there and see us with our guests. We're lining them up as we speak, and we'll have something posted on that for an event page maybe the next day or two. So that's the 14th of May. Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 930 Brookline Boulevard. And we start filming about 7:30 to 8:30. Check us out. We'll see you then. Then on the 21st, we're back at Hollywood Lanes. And I told you we may have some guests that can sing. Johnny Prozac, he's an artist. I talked to him at the Designer Bag Bingo. He agreed to be on our show at Hollywood Lanes on the 21st. Johno, Johno. He has a Southside studio right before you go down into Pittsburgh. He has art that the Steelers have in their offices. Wow. He's done a lot of great paintings in the Pittsburgh area. Wait till Smoking Jim meets him and learns about that on the 21st of May. Johno will be there, so check us out. And then we got a nice family that's been on American Idol or singing, or I'm finding out more details with that, and that's to come up on the 21st. We may even have the young lady who's 17, and she was a star on the show, singing a song. So we'll have to see. Stay tuned for that. That's my on-location report. And Chief, make sure you eat that dessert. We'll be right back. Don't change that dial.
I think film and television in general is a very discouraging industry. It takes a lot of years of pounding the pavement, calling people, finding your ins. You're gonna carry a lot of heavy cable, get dirty a lot, and find your way in. With the limited amount of resources out there and the limited amount of opportunities, there's a fantastic resource right here. And it's public access, it's free of charge. Anybody can come in and gain that experience. Dave absolutely loves to help people, never said no to us growing up. Anything we wanted to do, we were able to do here. The first year I was here, I would just sign on for different projects, like Stump the Students was a show that I worked on quite frequently. It was a game show. We would just come up with our own little ideas, mostly sketches, a lot of school projects, a lot of classes when we'd have to do a project on a story we read or something like that. I would always ask if we could do a video as our project instead, and we would typically do it through Dave. You know, one of my favorite things we did was one of the simplest things we did. It was put together in an afternoon. It was something we wanted to do for fun. We were playing around learning Final Cut Pro, learning how to do linear editing, and we decided to do something in reverse. So we filmed me, actually I think it was, running around the building out here, jumping off walls backwards, running around backwards, and played the whole thing in reverse. It was really simple, it was, you know, corny, we just did it for fun, but for a couple weeks after that, people kept coming up to me at school like, well, how'd you do that? We were more exposed to our student body than we felt we were, not having an association with any extracurriculars of the school. It was fun to see how, even though we were doing it on our own, it was still making its reach to Bethel Park, and it was still something that we were getting feedback for, positive feedback from. And that was really nice. I would say that BPTV is one of the greatest creative resources this community has, and I would absolutely encourage anyone with any interest in production to come here and learn from Dave and take their ideas and turn them into something. If I hadn't been here at BPTV, I wouldn't have advanced at the rate I did in my industry. I wouldn't have had the passion for my industry nurtured the way it was here. I don't think that I would have pursued it because I don't think I would have had as clear a picture of what was available to me in this industry unless I had come here and gotten that first-hand experience prior to having to make the decisions that you have to make whenever you're graduating from high school. Opportunity really only comes to people who establish a lifestyle to seize it. And this is the kind of place where you can seize an opportunity and change what you want your future to be.
All right, Penguin talk. Penguins play tonight at 7:30, third game of the games against Washington Capitals. So I predict a win tonight. Malkin will be back on the ice after he missed 3 games, so he'll be back. We should do well tonight. I don't care about Smoking Jim's player, Ovechkin. Smoking Jim asked if we would talk about him, so I figured I'd bring it up before Smoking Jim chimes in about Ovechkin. 600 goals. That's all he knows.
Almost 700.
Not yet. Barely got 600 under the belt. But we'll have a good game tonight. Penguins are due for a win. They got to turn that switch on, get those 3 goals again in 5 minutes like they did the first game, and won 3-2. That was a heck of a game you missed, Smoking Jim. I know you're a big fan of hockey. Sometimes.
I turned the TV off when it was 2-0. I figured it was over.
Did you? How'd you even get it turned on? You didn't even know the game was on. What the heck's going on here? Well, some of us watch hockey, some of us don't.
I like listening to it on the radio.
Get on.
I
Mike
like
Lang's
Lang.
great
Yeah,
on there.
Yeah.
But he's only doing the home games. He'll be on the night. Yeah, he's doing less hockey games than he did before.
Up in age now, huh?
Yeah, the Hall of Famer, Mike Lang.
He still looks good for whatever age he is.
Mario Tempest introduced me to him about 5 years ago. I got that picture with
Where
him.
was I?
You weren't showing up for anything. You just couldn't make it. Out in Bridgeville, we had to travel and watch Miss Freddie, blues singer, was there.
Yeah, my cousin.
You missed it. You missed that, but those things happened back then. That's the days. Hey, enough of this hockey talk right now. Smoking Jim and I did some great boxing matches in the Pro Sports Monroeville area. Just a great night of fights, 13 fights, and I'll let Smoking Jim tell you who the winners were. It ended up Western Pennsylvania scored.
I'm not sure, but
8.
we dominated.
8.
8-5?
Yeah,
Wow.
8 winners.
Wow. Couple bad decisions, but you're going to have that, and because we probably should have won about 11 or 12, but they got to give Philly a couple of them.
They did. A couple went down. Yeah, it's a shame. But our man Keontae come through.
Yeah, I didn't hear the decision. I had to step away a little bit. I was a little worried about it. Wasn't his best night.
No.
But he still came.
He persevered.
Through. Yeah. Did you think he won the fight?
Yeah.
It was close. Yeah.
He threw enough winning punches.
Yeah, and I tell you what, probably the best fighter tonight probably was in Philadelphia. The guy that beat Eric Sidnor.
Really?
Oh man, I've never seen a fighter like that. And then he has that Shazier thing where he can't grow hair on his face or his eyes. And matter of fact, you presented him the trophy.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Zabir.
Yeah.
Zabir.
There was a lot of black names from Philly, wasn't there?
I don't know, Smoking Jim. I needed you to translate that. Your Ebonics didn't work.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know what happened there, man.
Some of the names I didn't even recognize, man. Some of those first names, but they probably had some very deep meanings to them.
There was a nice boxer, Juwanda, that got beat by Mary Casamassa.
I was proud of Mary. Yeah.
Put up another good fight.
Yeah, I friended
Female
her.
open class, 152 pounds.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
very
remember
good.
some of the things that are written down, buddy.
But I felt heartbroken for Danny Buckley. Danny Buckley fought his tail off, and
I thought he won the fight.
yeah, it was a split decision. It was close. I thought he lost. I never seen him lose before, but I think he got hurt by a couple of punches that affected him a little bit. But he battled back, and he almost pulled it out.
Yeah.
How about the great athlete, man, Teddy McCondra? Am I saying that name?
Merconja.
McCondra.
Yeah, no D in there. McConja.
So I'm just saying it like the ring announcer said it.
He didn't say it right.
Okay.
You guys in the ring announcer, Smoking Jim got thrown out of the ring announcing.
Man,
First black Golden Gloves ring announcer.
I got blackballed.
How did that even happen? When did you find
know.
out? We started announcing fights, and you go, "There's the ring announcer."
Yeah.
I was stunned. I did a double take. I'm like, "What happened to you?"
I was stunned too. But hey, I enjoyed the role that I play, and maybe next year I'll get an opportunity to be the first black.
Well, you already did it. You already did it a couple years ago. You did it once or twice this
But
year.
never at the state championship.
Oh, so disappointing.
Yeah, so
Unbelievable. I thought you climbed the mountain.
yeah.
I know you had a dream about it. Just shocking. How do these things happen to my man there? My brother from another mother.
Hey man, we just got to keep working hard, and good things will happen. So maybe next year, but
That was 4 times in a row I was out in Monroeville.
yeah, man, that was great.
That last month was a killer going to Monroeville like I did.
And you started recognizing some of the people that works at the Glorious Gym, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come
Yeah.
out, support.
Yes, they did. And
Yeah.
they help. They help with these events, which somehow my man's innocent on that. He doesn't realize it. Hey, they liked our shows there.
That's good.
Gloria wants to know how people can get the fights. So you can call 412-831-3304. When Dave Cable gets the fight, you can buy DVDs for $5. Goes to our scholarship fund here, so can't beat the price. $5 for the fight.
No.
Can't beat it. So
No.
check that out. But yeah, we had a fun night. Nice night of fights.
I say maybe.
Nice crowd too.
Yeah, very nice crowd. You expect that in Monroeville. No violence, very safe. Championships. But Pittsburgh Sportsline Karma kicked in again, man. All the interviews that you did leading up to the fight gave the fighters a little extra, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
fight
Maybe Maybe they did. One of our guests, that Orlando Ellis, didn't win though either.
Yes, we was on the same page. I was just getting ready to mention the guy from Johnstown.
He's a nice fighter, come all the way from Johnstown.
Fought hard, fought his heart out. Hope he sticks with it.
Yeah.
But
and his coach, Brock Call, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or they call him Rock.
Yeah.
So he was there. Yeah, it's a tough loss.
Who won the 123-pound? I know we won that too, because I remember thinking that Rod Salka was also a
at that
winner
level.
at 123. Oh, it was Brodish?
No,
Yeah,
Bodish.
Bodish?
Bodish lost.
Bodish? No, he won, I think.
He lost.
123? They ripped him off. Okay.
Yeah,
I
Bodish
thought he won.
lost.
I thought he won that.
Yeah, no, he lost.
All right, didn't mean to bring that up then, but I thought he won.
Well,
But
I don't know what you were watching, Smoking Jim.
I felt bad for the heavyweight. Brian Maury.
Yeah, what
6
happened
foot
there?
6. I just think he just fought a guy that was a bad matchup for him in the amateurs. I think if they fought in the pros, he beat him. I think he was starting to get to him a little bit. The guy was just so quick. He built up too many points in the first 2 rounds. Brian came back in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
I thought if he had a little bit more time, he'd take him out. That's why amateurs and pros are so much different, because in the pros, you get at least 4 rounds, 6, 8, and 10. Once you get some experience, 10 rounds, and you can those guys start to slow down a little bit in the middle rounds, and you can start landing those power shots.
Who was the other heavyweight fight that was knockdowns and standing 8 counts?
Yeah, the guy hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, got disqualified.
Unbelievable.
Showed no sportsmanship after that. But
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of interesting fights.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Stevie Upshur I don't know if it was one of Stevie Upshur's guys that got hit in the back of the head.
I think
can't
so.
Remember.
Yeah. He got the trophy due to disqualification.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You don't see that too often there, so.
yeah, I'm not used to seeing Stevie without Rod Salka, but I guess we won't see them together for a while.
They broke up a while ago. I don't know what happened there. Maybe you know.
No, I don't know.
Well, he has his own boxing gym, Star Status Boxing.
I wonder where that's at. In his basement, or is it a gym?
He's been doing it in the gym. Where have you been?
I gotta go see it. You ever been out there?
No, I haven't been out there.
Okay.
He posts stuff on it all the time, Smoking
Maybe it's
Jim.
next to Quality.
You're the boxing guy. You
Maybe
know
it's
this
next
stuff.
to Quality Cleaners in McKeesport. I think every other business closed down, isn't it, out there?
Really? I don't know.
There's still
buddy.
any businesses open in McKeesport?
I don't know. Haven't been there in years. My mother's family's from East McKeesport, so it's
They
all
got
changed.
out of there,
Well, they've now since passed on.
huh? Oh, I'm sorry
Yeah,
to hear that.
so
I'm sorry.
many years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days. But that's all changed. But yeah, it was great boxing. Now there's they got to go to the Nationals to
In
fight.
Colorado, I think they're
Yeah.
trying to raise some money, get the kids out there.
I heard there's a movement to get you to go. They're trying to raise funds to get Smoking Jim Frazier out in Colorado.
Well, they can't get me to go to any of the seas. They couldn't get me in Colorado or Cuba.
No.
I was supposed to go to Cuba. I wasn't going there, but there's a better chance of me going to Colorado than Cuba, that's for sure.
Well, it's in the USA.
Huh?
It's in the United States of America.
And congratulations to, I seen Hines Ward at the Steelers NFL draft, and I congratulated Hines Ward
On what?
for getting South and North Korea together.
How did he do
Good
that?
job. Yeah, he did a good
How did he
job
do
on
that?
Huh?
How did he do that?
He can't give you all his secrets.
I don't think that even happened. Smoking Jim. He's making up some stuff, folks. This is what happens when we got Smoking Jim on the line here. We got a few minutes. Chip Hayner couldn't make it tonight because of business getting delayed at his business, and so Smoking Jim and I got a little bit of time. You know, Smoking Jim does some other TV shows. I always like to bring something up. First and 10 with Smoking Jim. He does that, I think, with Jody Velasquez.
Yeah, nice
Because
legs.
she posts up stuff on there, and they had a guest that's been on Pittsburgh Sportsline, Teresa.
Yes.
How'd that
Yes.
show go?
Man, I tell you what, she is.
What's she doing now?
Man, she's kicking butt and taking names. She's a professional bodybuilder, and I couldn't be more proud of her. She's a gym owner with John Harlan over in Butler.
I thought it's Jeffrey Harlan.
Jeff Harlan, I'm sorry. Did I call him John?
Yeah.
Yeah, all Jeffreys are Johns.
Okay.
But he goes by Jeffrey. And and I tell you what, man, she markets herself in the sport better than anybody. You know,
Internationally,
which is a shame. The Super Bowl for bodybuilding is the Mr. Olympia contest, which my good friend Phil Heath is 6-time Mr. Olympia.
Wow.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was 7 times Mr. Olympia, and Ronnie Coleman got the record for being 8, but Phil Heath ended up being 10 times Olympia champion. And they have all kind of different categories from bikini
yeah.
and all the way up, but the women's bodybuilding was very popular. They took that out of the Olympia.
You're kidding.
And people were like, they frown on women with that degree of muscle. And she has all that. She's dedicated, but she has the look to bring women's bodybuilding back into the mainstream. And I think with her efforts, because you remember Corey Everson and people like that, Linda Murray, and I think Teresa with her dedication and good looks, and it helps that she got a nice chest. That helps. You know, when you're promoting the sports, yeah, it helps. And she, the Pittsburgh Sportsline Karma as well.
Yeah, she's been on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
And her dedication, she's probably stronger than 90% of the men that I've ever seen lift in the gym. And her form,
90%?
90%, and her form is so strict. It's unbelievable. She never cheats on her diet. She is just so dedicated, and she loves the sport. And the conversation that we had, and Jody's an excellent interviewer.
Yeah.
So Jody did a good job of pulling some stuff out. And
does she have bone broth? Does she eat bone broth?
I'm going to ask her next time I see her, you know, because a lot of these bodybuilders are falsely accused of being on steroids, but I think a lot of it
especially by you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is bone broth. They're building that muscle through bone broth and yogurt and protein. So, yeah, she is always good to see her.
Is it pea protein or whey protein?
I don't know the proteins that well, but I know you do.
At least you're honest.
Do you take protein?
No, not right now.
Okay.
But people that are lactose intolerant can't take the whey protein because it has milk byproducts in it.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, so you got to watch that, and then depends on how clean you want to try to eat and different things like that.
Wow. Oh, well.
So go stick with your bone broth. I mean, you bought a little jar for today, so when you get home after the show, you can sip a little bone broth in New Kensington.
Any side effects on the bone broth?
No.
Okay, good.
It's all good. It's sort of a light, mellow, bony type taste.
Oh yeah.
Because it's made from bones.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Well, I'm not. I was gonna say I start boiling my bones and make my own, but I'm not gonna do that.
You could.
Well, you see how Bill Boyce makes his tea.
Yeah.
I haven't made my tea like that either, but it was pretty good.
Well, he took that off the pine tree. Funny how you remember that. No, it's always something smoking, Jim. Well, I'm glad she was a guest on your show. What's first and 10 again looking like this next week? Who do you got coming up? Any coming attractions?
Well, don't forget tomorrow we got Pittsburgh Sportsline, your competition.
Who?
No, Pittsburgh Steel City Sports World. What I call it? Pittsburgh
I know.
Sports,
That's why I go,
Luther gets mad when I call Steel City Sports World Pittsburgh Sports Live, but it's on my mind sometimes. I don't do it on purpose.
I can't imagine how
now
you
I
do
call
that.
Steel City Sports World Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Wow,
So.
there's some confusion
Yeah,
there.
but Steel City Sports World is first Wednesday of the month.
That's right.
So
You got
that's
to do
coming
that
up again.
tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's coming up again tomorrow. We have a female rugby player who plays in
Wow.
Pittsburgh by the name of Bambi.
She must be pretty tough.
Well, she got the best buns in the city of Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
And she's really fast and really tough. Her back muscles are unbelievable. But she got, I think she's somewhat, I think she's Hispanic. And which Cinco de Mayo is coming up, so it works out good.
That's Kentucky
Having her
Derby
on.
Day.
Same day as Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, by coincidence.
Oh, man. Hear that, Rod Salka? It's coming up. Kentucky Derby.
Why Rod Salka?
He likes the Derby, and I'm sure
Does
he
he?
likes Cinco de Mayo.
Why do we celebrate that Mexican holiday?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
No, they want us to drink.
Huh?
They want us to drink.
I always wanted to learn Spanish.
Did you? What happened? Didn't you have to take it to go to college?
I took Spanish 1,
You need Spanish 2, too.
And-
2 years of it.
and I quit halfway through and didn't think I had enough Spanish, so I took Spanish 1 again and quit it halfway through.
Wow.
So
So
I can count to 10. That's all I wanted to
Can
do.
you? No, I'm not going to have you try it.
Uno, dos, straight.
That's 3. I knew he couldn't go far, folks. Sorry, we're diverting a little off the reservation here, but Smoking Jim's one of the busiest men in media. Look at, he got First and 10 with Smoking Jim. He got Steel City Sports World tomorrow.
And I got the 50th anniversary of the
What is it?
the Pittsburgh Pipers, 50th anniversary of them winning the championship. It's going to be at the Marriott
What Marriott?
right there by the PPG Arena Saturday.
You're a kid.
Yeah, so I got that, man. I'm looking forward to it. 13 are
Is
still
that
living.
Saturday? That's Cinco de Mayo, too.
I don't think they had any Hispanic players back then.
It's Cinco
On the
de
team.
Mayo. That it is.
Is it de Mayo or de Mayo?
Whatever.
Cinco de Mayo.
De
Okay,
Mayo.
I got to remember that.
Yeah.
Bringing them back in, man. Poor Connie Hawkins had passed away.
Yeah.
But Mark Cuban's foundation gave some money. So thanks, Mark Cuban, for
Wow.
coming through. He's actually paying for the flights of all the players to come in from all over the country. We just had to adjust the ticket. One of the players is 6'9".
Yeah.
They're all old now.
Yeah.
And
They didn't shrink it all.
we had to get a special seat. He's flying in from New Mexico, and that's a long flight. So we had to pretty much tear up his ticket, get him another one because he has to have a special seat to fly that long. You just
Wow.
can't be sitting next to us, 6'9" and old.
Right.
And I'm sure he hasn't been taking his bone broth.
Really?
So
Well, maybe he has. Does he have a name?
Never
mind.
6'9".
Never
6'9"
mind.
guy.
We don't know his name.
13 of them still living.
Really? I met him way back then. My dad refereed a couple scrimmages for them. The
Red, white, and
Pipers.
blue basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were they tall back then?
Yeah, they were still tall.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad was small. They were tall.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw him.
But I guess the only other thing is the Pittsburgh Steelers draft.
Well, I figured we'd dig a little into that since you were saying go white. They only picked one white guy.
Well, and that was disappointing. You know, if you don't go white, you ain't right. But the Dallas Cowboys beat us to the linebacker that the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm sure, won at Van Der Esch. And with the 19th pick, so he went from being a second-round draft pick to the 19th pick in the first round. And I got to give the Pittsburgh Steelers credit for taking my number 1 rated quarterback, Mason Rudolph from Oklahoma State. This is a kid that's been successful his whole life, 6'5", 235 pounds, won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, back-to-back 4,000-yard passing seasons. In high school, as a high school senior, he threw for 64 touchdowns, including 8 touchdown passes in the state championship game.
Wow.
But even though, and so I got to give Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin credit for that. Now I got to throw him under the bus for the first round pick.
Why?
Terrell Edmonds, a safety from Virginia Tech who was projected to go in the 3rd or 4th round. This is a kid that's not even one of the better players in his own immediate family.
I heard he's slow.
He can run pretty good. He
I
ain't
heard
that
he's slow. There were reports he did 4.82.
No, he runs. He's a 4.4 guy, 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can run. But
He had a harness all year.
he had a bad shoulder, so who knows what his medical condition is. He quit around the 9th or 10th game of the season because of the shoulder. And this is a guy that definitely would have been there in day 2, maybe even day 3. The Pittsburgh Steelers really stretched. Now, they brought in Morgan Burnett from the Green Bay Packers, who's an all-pro player to play safety. And he's a strong safety. This guy's a strong safety, in my opinion.
Sounds like we got a lot of safeties.
We got a lot of safeties, but no free safety.
Well, they're talking about some of these defensive schemes. These guys will come up and play linebacker like Troy Polamalu did.
Yeah,
now, how are they going to play like Troy did?
Yeah, they spend everything. Who drafts for sub-package football? Sub-package football means teams got you on your heels. How about drafting players that we're going to put the other team on their heels? How about that, Pittsburgh Steelers? But again,
How does this happen?
since 2003, I started with the Steelers in 2000. They fired me in 2001 and then bring me back till 2003. They lack cornerback depth ever since I've been there. 2003, of
Well, they're
course.
consistent.
I drafted Ike Taylor
They're
in
consistent.
2003. Yeah,
Come on.
consistent. You still need cornerbacks. They didn't address that. You need inside linebackers. They
Where
didn't
was
address
that?
that. So I don't know why.
What's your grade on this draft?
Well, I think I want me to go through it real quick and then I'll
Yeah,
give
if
you
you
a
could.
grade.
We got some time here.
All right, the first pick, that has to be a C grade. He's a decent ball player. He'll play on special teams. He's not going to be a starter for you. And he was a guy that should have been there long before. He would have been there long after the first round, probably in the 3rd or 4th round. Second round pick was a steal, James Washington from Oklahoma State. This is a black man that's a farmer. He majored in agriculture. He's a rancher. He's a no-nonsense guy.
Wow.
He reminds me of Sterling Sharp, not Shannon Sharp. If anybody remembers the Green Bay Packer legend, Sterling Sharp, who was the first player in NFL history with back-to-back 100-catch seasons, this is what he reminds me of. He's one of the few players I've ever seen that catches everything with his hands. He got strong hands. He got football speed, very productive. He was the Blitnikoff.
I heard he runs through the ball.
Runs through the ball. He does. He's the Blitnikoff Award winner, which means he's the best wide receiver in all of football. And this guy is so serious. He's from West Texas. And if anybody knows anything about West Texas, them boys are serious
He played
down there.
football.
All you got in Texas, in West Texas, is farmland and tough guys. And he was all state in tennis. And
What?
I've never known anybody from West Texas to play tennis. So very productive player. So I got to give that pick an A.
An A.
And you got my number 1 rated quarterback in the 3rd
I
round.
want to hear the grade here.
Mason Rudolph. That's another A. Back-to-back
Hold
A
it. I
picks.
heard he can't hit guys 10 yards away from him.
That's a lie.
They were just talking about on the
Yeah.
radio
Boy.
today, the fan.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they lie.
They were saying he misses the guys easy passes 10 yards away. He misses those passes.
Man, the man threw for 500 yards in one half of football against Pitt.
Understood.
Didn't miss nothing.
I'm
But-
just saying what they're telling me.
Well, he's close to 70% completion rating. What I like about him, not only is he an All-American, he's also winner of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Very mature kid, very spiritual. The only thing he doesn't do well, he's not very fast, 4.9 and a 40, but he can hit everything.
Well,
like
he's 6'5", right?
6'5", 235 pounds, with a gun for an arm, very underrated arm, and like I said,
How's him and Big
extreme-
Ben going to get along?
Not at all. Not well at all. But Landry Jones is a Christian, so Landry Jones will take him under his wing until they trade Landry Jones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You announced it
predicting.
earlier.
Well, they can't keep 4 quarterbacks. They got 4 on the roster right now, so somebody got to go.
What happened to the quarterback they drafted last year? I thought he's a smart kid.
Yeah, black quarterback. He's
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
How
black
come he's
quarterback.
gone?
He's
he didn't
black.
even get a chance.
He's black.
What?
He's black.
That's
He's
not
gone.
right.
He's gone. So
They're going white.
he's going on. Maybe it'll work for he won't. He'll be somewhere with an N. It won't be the NFL. Probably be Nassau though. He's that kind of smart kid. But it's a shame. I thought he had some potential
Yeah.
to play, but somebody got to go. I don't think you're getting rid of Landry Jones this year because you need a backup quarterback
Wow.
for another year or so, and you're not going to get rid of Mason Rudolph. So.
Yeah, but he was only a third-round pick.
Yeah, they had a first-round grade on him, and so did I.
Yeah, but
And-
they took him in the third round. What's that say?
Yeah, that's true. So he slid in the draft, but it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers' benefit because he's either going to be traded for value or Ben will get injured and he'll step in and be the Steeler quarterback.
Hold it.
in the
Landry's
future.
first.
Well,
Landry
Landry ain't going to be.
Jones.
Landry don't have a long-term
No,
career here.
he's just
Yeah.
about done.
So I don't know if they can put the black quarterback on practice squad or not. So if they can put him on a practice squad, that's his only hope.
Wow.
Yeah, that's his only hope. So the third round. So now we got a C in the first round,
A.
A in the second round, A in the third round. So the second pick of the third round, the Steelers took a African, 6'6", 320 pounds, soft. I call him the Nigerian Jermaine Stevens, out of Western Michigan. So I got to give that pick an F. I'm predicting he'll be an NFL bust.
Wow.
They didn't have a fourth round pick. In the fifth round, they did a good job.
What'd they get?
They took a kid that was coached by Terry Smith, the assistant head coach at Penn State, to turn that program around. Don't forget now that the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive back coach is my good friend Bradley.
Get out. Tom
Coach
Bradley.
Tom Bradley is the coach, does a good job, who recruited Terry Smith to Penn State. But Marcus Allen, 6'2", 215 pounds. His dad was a great player for Westinghouse High School.
You're a kid.
Ended up playing a little bit at Maryland, named Sean Allen. He's played in more games than any other player in Penn State history, 45 games. Been a starter since halfway through his freshman year.
Wow.
His godfather is Curtis Martin.
No way.
The same Curtis Martin that'll never get into the City of Pittsburgh Hall of Fame long as I'm on the committee,
Yeah.
along with Big Cat Williams, Russell Friedman, and the 1991 Perry High School basketball team, and the 89 state championship football team will never get in as long as I'm on the
Thanks
committee.
for reiterating that, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Among
You're
other,
a prejudiced man.
among others. And like I said, our friend of the show, Ramon Hart,
Yeah.
he bypassed Gateway to transfer his son to Armani, so Perry got to pay the price on that. So the only thing now he's top 5 in Penn State history with over 300 tackles.
What do you grade him?
That's a lot.
What's your grade on him?
My grade is a B for the simple reason in 4 years as a starter, 1 career interception.
1.
That tells you no free safety. He's going to be a strong safety, tackling machine. So that we have all strong safeties along with Sean Davis. So I got to mark that pick down just a hair. Great player, but 1 career interception.
Unbelievable.
Here's somebody that'll get an A.
Another A.
Steelers, they had 2 picks in the 5th round. Jalen Samuels, listed as a tight end at North Carolina State. But if anybody's seen this guy play, they know he can run that football. Had 75 receptions last year, but also 12 rushing touchdowns.
12 rushing
This guy
touchdowns.
puts you in the mind of Le'Veon Bell, 6', 225 pounds. Best kept secret in the draft. Reminds me a little
Maybe
bit.
he'll be good in 2019 when Le'Veon's gone.
He's going to be good immediately because they don't have a backup running back. Can't go with James Conner, who I predicted would stay injured because he has the bone structure of a 180-pound man on a 250-pound man body of muscle. But this is a guy here that 6 foot, 225 pounds, and I tell you what, 31 career touchdowns, 15 receiving, 14 rushing, which is outstanding.
That's up to 29. It's 29.
Well, 15 receiving, 16 rushing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's for 31. But in high
That was
school,
30. No, go ahead.
but in high school, he did the same thing. In high school, he's a running back, H-back, tight end. In a state championship game, he had 100 yards and 3 touchdowns rushing.
Wow.
Then he had 5 receptions for 114 yards and 2 more touchdowns in the state championship game. Averaged 13 yards a carry in high school, 1,400 yards, 39 TDs as a high school senior, caught 49 passes for 1,000 yards, and another 16 touchdowns in high school. So he's been a versatile player all his life. So he will be the replacement for Le'Veon Bell. So I had to give that grade a A. I'm giving this player an F. Now, I got a nephew named Joshua Frazier.
That's not him.
It's not him. This is a guy from Alabama. Steelers drafted Joshua Frazier in the 7th round, and I immediately called him on the phone and asked him to please announce his retirement. Don't embarrass the Frazier name. He's 320 pounds, 6'3". He makes up for all that size by being lazy. Laziest player I've ever seen from Alabama. Never was a consistent starter at Alabama. I never seen a guy get cut blocked as much as him and stay on the ground. Never gets up and chase plays. This is a guy that they're bringing in because the defensive line coach, Carl Dunbar, is coached Alabama's defensive line.
He likes him.
And they didn't think, I know why they brought him in, and I know we're closing up. They brought him in, who should have been a free agent because he didn't start in college, although he got 3 national championship rings. But they knew he wouldn't sign with the Steelers as a free agent because his defensive line coach didn't start him in college. He ain't going to give him no play time in the pros, so the Steelers drafted him for a big body. But last but not least, walk-on Quadri Henderson of Pitt is a good value as a walk-on, could be a kickoff and punt returner for the Steelers. If he'd have went back to Pitt one more year, he probably would have got drafted, but now he got to make the team as a punt returner and a walk-on, but he got breakaway abilities. Pittsburgh Steelers, I rated their draft a D, but maybe
you had like 4 A's in there. How do you rate it a D?
Well, I had a lot of F's in there too. And then the Steelers didn't have a 4th-round draft pick, and they didn't have a 6th-round draft pick.
Gotcha.
So I had to give those
Zeros.
Zeros for that. So it came out to the D. But like I said, in another 10 years, maybe the experts will rate it as a D-. I'm giving it a D now. Maybe it'll be a D- years down the line. But
I like your optimism.
hey, and that's
You got it from our expert, the NFL draft guy.
Cut Frazier. Don't embarrass the Frazier name.
Go watch Adam Frazier on the Buccos tonight.
I love that one. That's a
He
good
can hit the
Frazier.
ball.
That's my cousin.
I know that. Definitely. You got to get his shirt. Where are you at with that shirt? Well, thanks for watching our show. Thanks to Dave Cable, the Bethel Park community for having us do our show. We appreciate it. Devin Shea, Steve, the Rookie of the Year Fisher in the control room. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, with Smoking Jim Frazier. Chip Hayner will be back next week. And thanks for watching our show, and please stay Joey strong.